take us to that, because if we clear our minds that the drugs were taken to the respective hospitals, then we don't have to waste time on the KEMSA order and system processes.
Chair, first of all, I'd like to correct the auditor that it's not 67, it's 167 facilities.
167 facilities?
Yes. The ones that are on the KEMSA supply. Our registered facilities are 174, but the ones that had gotten into the KEMSA system by that time, because we keep building new facilities, 167, not 67. Number two, this KEMSA system is, the way it's designed is foolproof. In that, when you make your requisition and you build that requisition from the facility, every facility actually requisitions online. And the system itself, at the point of the county pharmacist, tells you what KEMSA has. It also gives you what is called a non-supply list, which is what they don't have. So for the things that they have is what we raise a pro forma, and there is no intervention between the KEMSA stores and the facility. It's last mile delivery. It goes directly to the facility. And the KEMSA person who delivers, the truck driver or whoever is delivering, goes with delivery notes which have to be signed in triplicate. One delivery note stays at the facility. One is sent to the county pharmacists, which then is passed on to county treasury through the chief officer for payment. And the last one goes back to KEMSA. And in each of the facilities, we also have what is called stock ledgers, which are the bin cards for every single product, showing what has come in and what has, and all these other supporting documentations as well. So what we've done is to then print that entire file of all those, what are they called, and bin cards and other receiving and issuing documents, and that's why the bundle is that big.
Okay,
but from a risk perspective,
through the chair, I mean,
Senator,
yes, if the system is that organized, Governor, what I'm wondering, the query here says that expenditure was not supported by way of requisitions from the respective health facilities. There was no inspection and acceptance committee reports. There was no ledger card. So if the system is seamless, the way you are indicating, why weren't the documents availed to the auditor? Because the auditor, I've heard him say that this issue was only partially addressed.
Governor?
Yeah. Chair, before
let's take from Senator Dulo.
Response, my question goes to the auditor. If I heard you very well, you have said the query has partially been responded to. So maybe it's good if you can clarify for us to be able to understand the process, or rather the response. Tell us what has partially been addressed and what is outstanding, so that we address what is outstanding and also get a way forward on it.
Okay, I think let's get the governor's answer to Senator Morgan's question, then we come back to the auditor.
You know, Senator, the opinion belongs to the auditor. So for me, all I can do is to supply what he says has not been supplied. But that's how our system works. And it works uniformly for everyone. Yeah. So it's, I think that question cannot be answered by the auditor.
Governor, that cannot be the auditor's question. This is a question raised by the auditor on operations of your entity.
Yes.
It is a matter that was raised in the draft certificate, in the exit meetings, which I want to believe happened. If they are not provided at the time of audit, it cannot be the responsibility of the auditor. We must be fair to the institutions that we work with.
Chair,
I think there has to be another explanation for why it was not provided, but that explanation cannot come from the auditor. Senator Edward.
Yeah, Chair, maybe the position of the auditor on my query can clarify certain things so that we can.
Thank you, Chair. My outstanding concern here is on the steps taken so that this issue cannot occur.
Sorry, what I have said, you said the query has been partially addressed.
Yes.
And it's not fully addressed to your satisfaction. What is outstanding that has not been provided to satisfy you as far as this query is concerned?
And who is this person who did not give you documents? Who is this person who did not supply you with a document? Because you know what the law says.
Thank you, Chair. As far as the audit issue is concerned,
Can you put the mic closer to yourself?
as far as the audit issue is concerned, the 3 sets of documents which we expected to be given during the time of the audit have been given after the time of the audit.
Sorry?
After.
We are concerned with what you have put on ink and paper. You say they were not supported when you did the audit.
Yes.
My question is, who is this officer responsible who did not supply you with the documents? Because we are dealing with an audit report that is now before us that says the expenditure was not supported by way of documentation.
The responsibility of submission of these documents, particularly this relating to procurement, is the responsibility of the accounting officer, medical, the Department of Health Services.
Now, let's do this. Let's, because we must deal with this matter. Governor, what are your top 4 facilities? If you can mention them. It does not need to be by revenue, but just mention some 4 randomly.
And the top 4 facilities would of necessity be the sub-county hospital. So we have the Wajir County Referral Hospital. We have Habaswein Level 4 Hospital. We have Griftu Level 4 Hospital. We have Eldas Level 4, Butte Level 4 Hospital.
So we can, if you take Aldas, you said Aldas Level 4.
Yeah, for instance.
Can we use that as a test to confirm that Aldas Level 4 received, to provide, to confirm that there was evidence of receipt, custody, distribution, and issuance of medical supplies to Aldas Level 4 Hospital? I cannot see that far. I'm not that young. No. You can't cross there. Just describe what you are flashing. I believe it should be in our files.
Yes, Chair, it is in the annexer. In the annexer 1, yes. So we have categorized.
Annexure 1, on which page?
Chair, in the first annex, we have the requisition letter. Then appointment letters, inspection appointment committee.
Where are you reading?
Look
And
at
I think next time, make sure that you paginate your document so that it's easier to follow.
Take this color.
The green that says requisition letter.
Requisition.
Yeah.
Then you go next. Appointment letter for inspection and acceptance committee.
For Hansard purposes, just to introduce yourself.
My name is Abdi Abdullah Hassan, Director Supply Chain.
Okay.
So next is appointment letter for inspection and acceptance committee.
Is that specific to Aldas?
The appointment, yes. You know, we have 6 sub-counties in Wajir.
No, we are just saying we want to test one facility to confirm that the requisition was done and the order was fulfilled, and if that evidence is there, we can just take one sample.
Chair, if you look at the appointment letter for inspection and acceptance committee, the first letter is for Elders, Wajir West and Wajir North sub-county hospitals. That is the appointment.
Okay.
Then next is inspection and acceptance for the same. It's there. The inspection committee signed the certificate for Elders, Wajir West and Wajir North sub-county. Then you go to stock control cards. That is the bin cards, which act as a control point for us. Then you move ahead. There is red, is this pinkish or this Elders sub-county now? Move from the stock control cards all the way to the red. This Elders, the store ledgers. The store ledgers shows how goods were received in the stores.
Just a minute. On the inspection and acceptance committee report,
Yes.
you've got inspection and acceptance certificate.
Yes, for three elders, Wajir West and Wajir North, and Wajir East.
What's a contract delivery due date?
For the inspections.
On that inspection and acceptance certificate.
Contract due date is 3rd June 2024.
Is that within the period under review?
Yes. The file
2024, 2025. When does it start? On 1st of July, 2024. Yes. This is a contract of the prior financial year.
Yes, but it was paid in that financial year, the auditing.
Okay.
Yes.
So, you've got 87 million on one inspection and acceptance certificate, 85 million in the next one.
And totaling to 172 in the audit query.
So, auditor, the 172 related to this specific facility, or it was the 167 facilities across Wajir?
Thank you, Chair. The 172 related to consolidated order for various facilities, which could be 167 facilities within Wajir.
So, that gentleman is explaining one facility, 87 plus 85. Is it then a fact that that fully accounts for the 172?
Yes, Chair.
So, in your view, it was only one facility?
No, this is not one facility. This is for Wajir County.
In your inspection and acceptance certificate, you've got two.
Yes, Chair.
One value of supply is 87, the other one is 85. Is that the requisition from KEMSA?
Chair, the 85 million is for elders, Wajir West and Wajir North.
That's a requisition coming from KEMSA?
Yes.
Which we don't have a problem with, because I think, as the governor has explained, it's fairly foolproof. Now, the evidence of distribution.
It's there, Chair.
Where is it?
County.
Where is it?
Per sub-county. For example, Allah sub-county.
Yeah, just take us there.
Red, they look at this reddish, Allah sub-county.
Where would it be on your, because you've got a lot of pages. How do we get there?
Immediately, you move from stock control cards, that's the bin cards. Then the next, you go to, we have now divided them into sub-counties. Allahs, we started with Allahs.
Okay, so explain to us.
Chair, in Allah sub-county, we have annexed ledgers and counter-received vouchers S13.
Officer, you can explain that?
You can explain the first document, which is something, what is it?
What do you say?
The first document, the first one, after
What other dispensary is in Allah sub-county.
all the ages.
Yes.
So, yeah, the first column there is the date, yeah? Okay. So if you link that with the inspection, so the inspection happened on 3rd of June. So you are saying
For Wadada, it happened 5th. The S13, it is 5th.
so what's that there? 100
June.
shillings.
Yeah.
In that column, there is 100 shillings there.
This is per drug. The price cost for per drug.
So what was being delivered?
There's unit cost, there's quantity, and there's value.
And the drug, what's the drug? What's the drug? I
just want to understand that form.
Officer?
Just see at the top of the form, it's indicated there, and adrenaline, it's at the top of the form.
Adrenaline.
Yeah.
Adrenaline 1 mg stroke ml.
Yes.
So the quantity is what? Have you understood?
The quantity is, they are written 10 in number.
10.
In number. The drug is adrenaline 1 mg ml.
Okay, officer, going down to total receipts, less total issues, that stock control part, it's all blank. Should it be blank? The bottom of that particular the one Senator Morgan is referring to. I mean, just tell us what is the authenticity of what you have given us? And authenticity would mean signed by somebody, owned by somebody.
Yes.
Because this can be filled under a tree.
No, Chair.
No, just show me how you authenticate this for us to take it as evidence.
First and foremost, it has a serial number. Look at the serial number. We're at the dispensary.
I don't think serial number authenticates. Authentication means the person making the entry takes responsibility by signing.
Yes.
Where is a signature so that we know who's the person responsible here?
It's called Arafat.
Where is that?
Arafat.
Where is that indicated?
Look at the receiving officer, beside the signature.
Where?
Put the S13, look at the S13.
No.
Oh, don't take us to S13 because you have separated them, isn't it?
Yes.
That's why you've got your S13 is a counter receipt voucher.
Yes.
Yeah, so before we go to the counter receipt voucher, we are on the ledgers.
Ledgers.
How
Yes.
do you authenticate the ledgers? Because none of it is signed. What we have are just entries, handwritten entries.
Chair, ledgers are not signed.
Sorry?
Ledgers are not signed.
So how do you authenticate? How do you authenticate them?
Authenticate this because every facility has one attached ledger book with a serial number.
So, if I may ask, was this the same person filling all this?
No, it's not the same person. It's not the same person.
Was I thought it's one person because the handwriting looks like it's just one person.
Okay,
So
then maybe you need to relate it to the S13. Maybe it will help us understand. What we are trying to dispel is any notion that maybe some team would sit under a tree and fill forms. So your responsibility is to confirm that that is not what happened.
Chair, I'm under oath and I can confirm.
You're not under oath, it's a governor under oath.
Sorry.
Your confirmation is by the documents here. Just take us to the document that gives us that assurance. As I said, we are not going to look at the 167 facilities. We'll just pick one and run a test on it.
For this, for Adi Chair, if you look at the receiving officer, just a name with the person who received, signature, designation, and date.
That is on the S13.
S13, yes.
So all the S13s you have tendered there for elders, what do they total to? How much of the 172 million was received by elders?
Of elders. The total elders received is 15,300,000.
Where is that in your records?
In the summary.
Where is the summary?
They did not request a yet, Chair.
You knew you were coming here to provide evidence that 172 million worth of pharmaceuticals was distributed to facilities properly. That's the issue. We are not coming to question whether the procurement from KEMSA was proper. That's not the issue. And I mean, if you are to focus on that, would be pedantic. Our concern is that the 172 million was received in public hospitals and was not diverted to private hospitals. That's what we are trying to establish. And I think the governor must have understood that well, because in his written response, he has said that there are records that provide evidence of receipt, custody, distribution, and issuance of medical supplies to the intended facilities. So, just speaking, Aldous, you are saying that in total it was 15 million, yes, and we are asking where is that evidence in the file?
Chair, I was relying with the audit query, which lump sum put 172 million. Then in that 172 million, we had two vouchers, which is in the inspection, which one is 89 and the other one is 85. So I was trying to support in line with the query.
We don't have a big problem with the distribution and the arrangement with KEMSA.
Yes.
Our problem is, did the facilities receive the pharmaceuticals? And the pharmaceuticals they received, do they tie to the 172 million that came from KEMSA? It's as simple as that.
Yes.
So give us that evidence, give us that assurance, and we can move on.
Chair, the evidence is in front of you. We have the ledgers, we have the estatin, we have the appointment letter for the inspection, we have the requisition, and the inspection certificate signed by the appointed committee members.
Auditor General, because I said when we started that we are not doing the audit today.
Yes.
The audit ended when the OAG brought the report on 31st of December. Can you give us an assurance that the 167 facilities in Wajir received medication pharmaceuticals, and the pharmaceuticals they received the total ties to the 172 that came from KEMSA? Are you able to give that assurance, or do we ask the county to provide that information?
Chair, as the auditors, we can only give what is called reasonable assurance, but not absolute assurance. So maybe I'll pass the ball to the governor. Thank you, Chair.
Governor?
And Chair, I've explained the process of consolidating requisitioning. And once the requisitions are consolidated, an LSO is given for what is required of KEMSA in totality, but with a breakdown of how much should go directly to every facility. So the packaging takes that into account. And that's why it's a last mile delivery. Once that reaches there, the KEMSA person also, because has to demand for payment, has to ensure that the facility in charge signs a delivery note. It is not expected, it's not rationally expected, and I must say this, that the bin cards or the store ledgers for every facility, because these are not things you carry away, they are per product and they are kept at the facility, will be kept at the headquarters. They are at the facility. So it's up to the auditor to say, I need proof of this delivery for this product, for this facility. Then we provide the delivery note from the facility so requested, because you're talking about 167 facilities that have received products directly. And if they want to know at what stage of consumption there is, then we give copies of the bin cards. So when we saw that comment, what my people did is now they asked the store people, the facility in charges in every facility, to send the bin cards of every single facility. So I think unless the auditor says, I need this particular thing in this particular form, this is our response. I don't know how else to explain.
It is not what the auditor wants, it is what the Senate wants. What the Senate requires is clear evidence that 172 million worth of pharmaceuticals and non-pharmaceuticals that were procured from KEMSA reached the intended facilities. That's all. That's our concern. Sitting here, we have seen cases where in a very foolproof exercise, counties procure, counties get medication, but that medication goes to private hospitals. That is the suspicion that we must allay. And so what you must do as your officer says, that there is no summation of deliveries to the respective facilities, you must provide a summation that accounts for that 172 that will then be supported by the ledgers and the S13s that have been attached here. Sitting as a Senate, that's the most we can do. We cannot go through every single S13 or every single ledger. So provide a summation of the deliveries out of the 172, the facilities they were taken to, and how much each facility received. And then we'll ask the Auditor General to just run a test to confirm, and we can close this matter. Governor, I hope that is clear. It will be
Yes, Chair. I think what I'll ask my people to do, because delivery notes was not one of the things that was asked for by the auditor, why not just get every single signed off delivery note that added up to those two LSOs and provide it to the auditor?
Yeah, provide is the Senate asking. It is not the
Obliged.
So I think that should be a very straightforward exercise where you have a schedule, if it's 167 facilities or 50 facilities, indicating the quantities and amounts received. Is that clear? And that's doable. Auditor General?
That's okay, Chairman. We'll comply with the directive. Thank you.
Let me ask Senator Cherargei to go on record.
Cherargei Kiprotich is my name, Senator of the Republic of Kenya, representing the great people of Nandi. And Chair, my apologies, I was in parliamentary board meeting for very long, having the governor refused to appear on several occasions. Mine is, Governor, you are contradicting yourself. If you read your own response, page number 3, steps taken. I thought these are already steps that you have taken. Because you have said the management has directed the relevant department to strengthen issue of record keeping, document inventory, management controls. So I thought the one you are saying has already been done. So which is the position? Are you running away from your written submissions that you are going to undertake in future of your management responses? Where you have put there, then the management has told officers, because I'm seeing the chair you are directing that the OG retake. I thought they have already taken because it is written steps taken. So I thought they have already done. They are giving feedback on the matter.
Okay, I think I gave you an opportunity to go on record, but you could benefit also from some of the conversations you have had prior to your arrival. I think we have gone through all those issues of documentation, the gaps, the complexities, but what we are concerned about now is accounting for 172 million and making sure that that 172 million went to public hospitals rather than private hospitals, or when we are reviewing the responses, we'll also be able to